I want to start the video by saying that I received a letter that there would be a warrant out for my arrest. But I'm going to tell you more about that later, because right now I'm headed to a house that Aubrie and I have looked at, and you're like, what, you live above Fat and Weird? Yeah, there's a lot of things that are moving parts that I'll have to explain probably in another video because it's just too much. But we're looking at this house, but it's gonna need some work, so we're meeting a GC there to walk through it and just kind of see how much it would need. I'm sure some of you will see the house and be like, no, it's fine. It's not fine, believe me. There's a hole.
Okay, just little patches.
We finish this, and then I think this is just surface mounted, so hopefully. And then this is what really bothers me. Like, look at the height difference here. So essentially all you need is to keep this for the light switch here, and then you could just glass the rest of it. And it's just like, we're gonna have to change out every single fixture, every ceiling fan. Right. So, yeah, I mean, it has a lot of potential. Yeah, so this is actually the second time we looked at the house. Like I said, the first time Aubrie and I walked through it, we were like, I don't know, it needs a lot of work. So we figured we'd call our friend that's a GC, have him come tell us exactly how much work it's gonna take. So yeah, he'll get back to us, we'll let us know. There's one that we're gonna look at tomorrow that should be just like straight up move-in ready. That's a little bit more expensive. The one tomorrow is actually single story all the way across. And so it's big house, one level, which is kind of nice when you have young kids to have a one level house. But yeah, so let's get upstairs and I'll tell you the story. So this is from the Commonwealth of Virginia. Notice to appear in lieu of warrant. We must receive your report before 5/19/2024, or you're required to appear before Joanna Kane at Lynchburg, Virginia. If you fail to do this matter as instructed above, then we may proceed to request a warrant for your arrest. So it's literally ADP didn't file our payroll taxes in Virginia. We have one employee in Virginia, and that's what this is all about. It's handled now, so I'm not going to be wanted in the state of Virginia, but it's such a charged letter to be getting. And I've just been spending a little bit of time ordering flooring samples. You know, want to make sure we figure out what floor we're going to put in if we go that route. Also, Montana house, we got to have a floor there too, so figured why not get samples, see if we like anything. This floor is very pretty. It is a beautiful floor. It feels like wood. It looks very natural, but it scratches easily. It stains easily. It dents, chips. It is not meant for having kids. If you drop anything heavy from like this high, it's gonna dent the floor or like make a mark. I think there's some spots in here somewhere. And it's expensive. This form is really expensive. We got a deal on it. Not gonna do that again.
When that notification came for Brad in the mail, I didn't hear anything about it. And then that afternoon I came home and he was like, or no, somebody else told me about it, told me that there was a warrant out for his arrest. I was like, hey, I heard about that. And he was like, yeah, I'm like, he was proud of it. Like he was laughing at it. And I'm like, why is this funny? It's not funny. That's not funny. And he's like, well, I'm handling it, but it just makes me like way cooler. Really? I don't think so. But anyway, about the moving, this came about literally like 5 days ago. So it's a very new development, a new like thought process that we're having. We always knew that eventually we would turn this upstairs space, our house, into office space. This was like a couple of years down the road. Now it's actually kind of happening because we were talking about hiring new people for marketing, videography, like just growing our team. And I'm like, where are they gonna work? Where are you gonna, Brad was gonna spend money on a content studio and like building a new one. I don't really know where he was gonna build it. I said, well, rather than building that new section, why don't you just, we just move and turn this into content creation area, lunch area. We could talk about, what we're gonna do with this space and then just move somewhere else. So definitely excited for like the privacy aspect, just like a more normal work life situation, although I really don't have any complaints about living here other than just like trafficking through the area where everybody else is working while I'm just like being a mom. It's just kind of like this weird like, hey, so that's the only part that like bothers me. But if you have any other questions about that, what it's like to live here, just let me know in the comments.
This cookie, Chocolate Wasted, is launching tomorrow. By the time you see this video, it will be live, so you should go get it. So good. So much chocolate. So a lot of this is kind of like up in the air about how we're doing this, when we're doing this, because it really only came up about 5 days ago. Aubrie and I were talking. It's really because we've hired, well, I guess we're interviewing 2 more videographers to help with Fat and Weird stuff. We've hired 4 new people downstairs. So the break room we have isn't adequate. And so I would move the people from the office up here, and we don't want to live here if people are like traipsing through it all the time. The kitchen would turn into content studio / break room. The couch and stuff would just be set up as like an informal meeting area. Like some people want to work and sit on the couch, like whatever. The current office would stay like more of like the content heavy office. So like Eastman would be in here, the other videographers would be in there, and then I would probably stay in here as my office as well. And then I know the next question is like, what do you do with the bedrooms? What do you do with the bathrooms? Like all that stuff. First off, I'm probably, if we move away, I would go to the gym and work out and then come straight here. So it'd be nice if there was a bathroom here because I could shower and stuff like that. And then the bedrooms themselves would most likely just turn them into content studios, office space, conference room, things like that. So I guess a little bit of a rundown. So, you know, we have a fairly big closet, but honestly that would probably turn into storage space for camera equipment. Right now we have stuff out on the landing, we have stuff in the office, it's kind of everywhere. Set up our podcast recording like this direction as well. And then I don't know what else I do in this room, so comment down below if you have any other ideas besides a podcast studio. I know Max has like 2 podcast studios in one room, so we can swap back and forth. So this is a bed that folds down, so we'd probably just leave this in here in case we needed like extra sleeping for someone. But I would imagine that this room is what I'd turn into like our content studio so that we could have lights set up all the time, things like that, because the closet is really big and there's no shelving in it other than like one shelf at the top to like hang stuff on. So like there's a lot of room to like store things in there if you didn't have clothes hanging. So like you would be able to put a lot of content type stuff away in the closet. So that would give you this room. There's already a TV in here which they can hook up to their cameras for like external monitor stuff. There's shades so they can block out all the light if they want to, or open it and get natural light coming in here. So this is my idea to become the content studio. And then Letty's room, I don't know what state it's in, but that would most likely just be office space. We have a couple people that would need offices, so probably set that up as office space. She has a lot of built-ins that are like drawers and stuff, so you know, filing cabinets, stuff like that, it kind of takes up that kind of space. So there's a lot of things that are up in the air, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you're an interior designer, hit me up. We'll probably need you. But hope you enjoyed the video. Comment any questions you have down below or advice or anything like that. Like this video, share it with your friends that can give me some tips on decorating a new place or turning this place into a content studio. Subscribe if you haven't. You're worth it.